Welcome to Forget Me Not, where we explore the lives and legacies of individuals who dared to challenge the status quo and shape the world we live in today. I'm your host, Kiki, and in today's episode, we'll be diving into the life of a remarkable woman, Qiu Jin, a trailblazing feminist, revolutionary, and poet from China's late Qing Dynasty. Her life was a story of rebellion, not just against political oppression, but also against the deeply ingrained gender norms of her time. Born in 1875, Qiu Jin grew up in a world where women were often confined to domestic spaces, expected to obey the patriarchal family structure, and perhaps most notably, endure the painful practice of foot binding. But Qiu Jin was different. She didn't want to live a life prescribed by tradition. She wanted to break free and fight for something greater. So, let's start by getting to know her early life and what led her on this revolutionary path. Qiu Jin was born into a moderately wealthy family in Fujian province. Like many girls of her time, she received some formal education, which was relatively rare for women. But she was restless. Qiu Jin had a passion for learning and self-expression. She devoured literature and was inspired by the stories of female warriors and revolutionaries. She was also a very talented poet, writing under the pen name Jing Shuang, meaning sword of writing. Poetry was her refuge, and as soon we'll see, also her weapon. Her youth, however, was overshadowed by traditions that restricted her autonomy. At age 21, she entered an arranged marriage, a common practice for women of her social standing. While she dutifully played the role of wife and mother, her heart was elsewhere, drawn to the burgeoning cause for reform in China. You see, at this time, China was reeling from the effects of the Opium Wars, internal rebellion, and increasing foreign influence. Many intellectuals believed the country needed radical change, and Qiu Jin was one of them. In 1904, Qiu Jin made a life-altering decision. She left her husband and children to travel to Japan, a bold move for any woman of her era. Japan was a hotbed of revolutionary ideas, and Qiu Jin was eager to learn. While there, she cut her hair short, donned men's clothing, and immersed herself in political activism. She joined secret revolutionary societies and met with like-minded reformers who were plotting to overthrow the Qing Dynasty and establish a new modern republic. What's even more inspiring is that she used her voice to speak out on issues that extended beyond politics. She became a fierce advocate for women's rights, denouncing foot binding, arranged marriages, and the lack of educational opportunities for women. In fact, she once famously said, "Don't tell me women are not the stuff of heroes." Now, one of the most powerful ways Qiu Jin inspired others was through her writing. She used her pen to craft revolutionary pamphlets, essays, and poetry that criticized both the government and the subjugation of women. In her magazine, Zhongguo New Bao, or the Chinese Women's Journal, she called for equality and education for women, a radical stance in a society that viewed women as inferior. But Qiu Jin was not just a writer, she was a revolutionary in the literal sense. Upon returning to China in 1906, she took up arms, plotting with fellow rebels to overthrow the Qing government. She was appointed the leader of an armed uprising in the city of Shaoxing. However, like many revolutionary movements, her plans were discovered before they could come to fruition. In 1907, Qiu Jin was captured by Qing authorities. During her interrogation, she refused to betray her comrades or express regret for her revolutionary activities. Her defiance made her a symbol of courage, but it also sealed her fate. She was executed on July 15, 1907 at the age of just 31. Qiu Jin's execution shocked China, but it also cemented her place in history. She became a martyr, and her legacy continued to inspire revolutionaries, including those who would later overthrow the Qing Dynasty in the Xinhai Revolution of 1911. Today, she is remembered not only as a political activist, but also as one of China's earliest feminist icons. Her life raises an important question that we still grapple with today. How much are we willing to sacrifice for the causes we believe in? Qiu Jin sacrificed her family, her comfort, and ultimately her life for the belief that women deserved equality and that China could be more than an empire controlled by a corrupt dynasty. She dreamed of a future where women could be free to learn, free to express themselves, and free to shape their own destinies. Qiu Jin's words and actions remain as relevant today as they were over a century ago. Her courage, resilience, and passion for justice remind us of the importance of standing up against inequality in all its forms. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this episode of Forget Me Not, make sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. And remember, the past is not just something to study, it's something to learn from. Until next time, I'm Kiki. Stay curious and stay courageous. Bye.